So, what happens when a 50-year-old giant, a true titan of the global IT industry, comes face-to-face with a revolution? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dig into today. We're talking about the high-stakes gambit of Tata Consultancy Services. You probably know them as TCS, as they fight for their very future in the age of AI.
Okay, to really get what's at stake here, you've got to wrap your head around the sheer scale of it all. $254 billion. That's the estimated revenue of India's entire IT industry for 2024. This isn't just some sector. It's a massive economic engine. It's literally built a nation's middle class. And now, all of it is on the line.
But here's the thing. Even titans can be shaken. And a headline like this, it's like a massive tremor running right through the heart of the industry. The age of AI isn't coming. It's already here. And it is forcing a really profound and, yeah, for a lot of people, a pretty painful transformation.
So this all brings us to the big question, right? If you're a legacy behemoth like TCS, built on decades of success, how do you pivot? How do you possibly adapt fast enough to not just survive, but actually win when the very ground you're standing on is shifting beneath your feet?
All right, Section 1, a global IT titan. Look, to really understand the challenge TCS is up against, you first have to appreciate its sheer, staggering scale.
So get this. It was founded way back in 1968, and it's a cornerstone of the legendary Tata Group, which itself is over 150 years old. TCS operates in more than 55 countries, and it leads an Indian IT sector that employs over 5 million people. This isn't just a company, it's a global institution.
Okay, let's move on to Section 2, an industry's perfect storm, because that's really what's happening. That incredible legacy we just talked about, it's now facing a perfect storm of forces, hitting the entire industry all at once, and from every direction. So first up, clients are really tightening their belts. That discretionary spending, the budget for all the new, cool, experimental projects, it's getting slashed. The focus has totally shifted to pure cost-cutting and projects that have immediate, guaranteed returns. No more moonshots for now.
And what's driving all that caution? It's this massive wall of uncertainty. All the macroeconomic and geopolitical instability, it's making businesses everywhere really hesitant to commit to those huge long-term IT projects. And those projects, they've been the industry's bread and butter for decades.
And the impact? Well, it's absolutely undeniable. Just look at this. The Indian IT industry's growth rate was chopped by more than half in a single year. It plummeted from 8.4% in fiscal year 23 all the way down to just 3.8% in 24. This isn't just a slowdown. It's like slamming on the brakes, a screeching halt.
And of course, a slowdown like that has a very real human cost. 12,200. That's roughly how many roles TCS eliminated in the last fiscal year. Now, the official reason was skill mismatches, but let's be real. Many see it as the first major tremor of an AI-driven earthquake that's about to reshape white-collar work as we know it.
Okay, Section 3, building the global machine. So how does a giant like TCS even begin to navigate this storm? Well, to figure that out, we have to look at how they built their empire in the first place. And it was all about decades of methodical, careful, global expansion.
It all kicked off back in 1979 with their first overseas office right in New York City. By '87, they were making a deliberate push into Asia. Then, the early '90s saw this huge wave of expansion all across Europe, and by 2002, they were setting up a major foothold in South America. The key takeaway here? This wasn't random. It was strategic, it was calculated, built brick by brick.
And here, you can really see that strategy in action. You can just trace the waves of expansion, right? From those first few beachheads to what is now a truly global presence. And you got to remember, each of these colored regions, that's more than just a pin on a map. It represents decades spent building deep, trusted relationships with the world's biggest companies.
All right, Section 4, pivoting to an AI future. So with that incredible history and this massive global machine in place, how are they actually pivoting to an AI-centric future? Well, their strategy is pretty aggressive, and it's definitely multi-layered. And it really starts right at the very top. The CEO, K. Krithivasan, he's made it crystal clear to everyone. He said AI isn't just another tool. It is the company's next primary engine for growth. A statement like that sets the direction for the entire massive organization.
And they're not just winging it. They have a clear playbook, this 3-horizon strategy. So Horizon 1, that's the foundation, right? Just getting clients onto the cloud. Horizon 2 is all about optimization, using that cloud to make their clients' businesses run better, faster, smarter. But Horizon 3, that's the real endgame. That's about building a whole ecosystem of partners on the cloud to unlock completely new ways of making money.
And here's what's super important. They are not going it alone. TCS is forging these deep partnerships with the absolute titans of AI and cloud. We're talking NVIDIA for the raw computing power, and of course all the major hyperscalers, Microsoft, Google, and AWS for the cloud infrastructure. This is all about leveraging the best in the world to speed up their own transformation.
And listen, they are putting some serious money where their mouth is. They've announced plans for a brand new AI data center in India with a planned capacity of 1 gigawatt. Now, to put that into perspective for you, that is enough to power a small city. We're talking about a massive, tangible investment in the actual infrastructure of their AI future.
Which brings us to Section 5, giant versus agile startups. All this investment, all this strategy, it's all setting up the ultimate showdown. Can this established giant, with all its history and all its processes, really outmaneuver the small, nimble, AI-native startups that were literally built for this new era?
I mean, it is the classic clash of advantages. In one corner, you've got TCS bringing its massive scale, decades of experience, and what they call contextual knowledge, which is basically a deep, almost intimate understanding of how their clients' businesses actually work. And in the other corner, you've got the startups bringing pure speed, agility, and business models designed from the ground up for AI.
And at the end of the day, this is what TCS is betting everything on. The core argument from their CEO is basically this: AI tools are just becoming commodities. Anyone can get them. The real value, what he calls their inherent advantage, comes from knowing how to apply that technology to solve specific, complex business problems. And that's something they've been doing for 50 years.
So, Section 6, the next 50 years. It really feels like we're at a critical juncture, doesn't it? The moves TCS makes right now, today, are undoubtedly going to define its next 50 years. The stakes could not be higher.
And I think it all boils down to this one single provocative question. In this new age of AI, is a 50-year legacy an anchor or a launch pad? Can TCS really leverage its immense history, its deep client relationships, and its global scale as a launchpad to dominate the AI era, or will the sheer weight of its size and all those legacy processes become an anchor, just holding it back while nimbler rivals race ahead? The gambit is officially underway.